Got the pen and the paper in your hand. Got the story going, but you wanted to expand. We'll help you on your journey, let us lend you a hand. Join the show. So let's write the book TV show. Grab your pen and paper and we're gonna let it flow. Talking about write the book TV. Join the show.
Welcome to another segment of Write the Book TV. I'm your host, Kimberly LeBou. We have an exciting segment for you today. I am meeting with the authors of Unlock the Icon Within. And today we have with us Cheryl Pullins, who is the visionary author. We have Tiffany Easley, Sharon Locklear, and Danielle Batiste. Welcome to Write the Book TV, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. You all came from all over just to be here, so I'm so honored. And I thank you. Like Cheryl came from Florida. Where'd you really come from? Dallas?
Texas.
Dallas. Miss Sharon.
From North Carolina.
And Danielle.
Newport News,
Virginia. Wow. So this is just going to be such a rich conversation. I had such an amazing time working on this project with you guys. Unlock the Icon Within. I love everything from the cover to the stories to all of the greatness that you all brought to this project. And so Cheryl, I just want to say, as the visionary of this book collaboration, when you thought of bringing together this amazing group of women, and this is not everyone, this is not everyone, this is a small segment, but when you thought about bringing all of these ladies together for this project, what was your vision for Unlock the Icon Within?
the vision for Unlock the Icon Within as a book project is like any other project that I do where I invite others to participate, is to give them a platform to share their voice, to share their story. And also for this project in particular, I wanted women to see other women embracing the idea about being iconic.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I said, I don't want to be the only person that's saying it. I want women to hear other women saying it so they can start seeing themselves in other women who embrace the idea and the concept and the belief that they're iconic. So that was really the vision for it.
That's certainly your word. Like for years, Cheryl has been iconic, right? And so even down to the point, like I go to the store and I see something that says iconic, I would take a picture of it and send it to Cheryl.
You
and say, look,
people.
But that's when you know branding. Cheryl is all about the branding, right? And so for the other authors in this project, there's something really special about anthology projects. And so I just want to ask you what it was like for each one of you to be a part of this iconic project.
It was life-changing. Even just the title, I was literally like, this is different. It felt different. And then as we unveiled the cover, it was like spiritually something was happening, right? It was an awakening for me. And then as we got to see each other on the calls, it was like, oh my goodness, like this is my tribe of people. We all are becoming and unlocking our icon within together. And we got to see that happen over a period of the months that we were doing the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the groups were always so fun and full of energy and me, so that was always fun. What about you, Ms. Sharon?
It was an awakening, and it was a voice so that my voice could be heard. For such a long time, I knew that I had something that I needed to tell other women, particularly older women who had forgotten who they were, what they wanted, who had given up their dreams, their goals, because they've been so busy living for everybody else. So I just wanted to be able to share the things that I had overcome, and this was an excellent way to get that done. And it was a lot of fun. And it helped me rediscover parts of myself that I think I had forgotten.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
I love it.
Danielle, what about you?
Well, I've done many anthologies before, and doing this one, and it's piggyback on off of what they said, the awakening, the voice. And I always talk about my diabetes, but I never talked about my bipolar. So, and just the word unlocked, I unlocked the bipolar. And I mean, it's just the voice, you know, to be heard and have others like myself come out. And if I'm unlocking my icon, I need them to unlock theirs too. So, and that picture, wow, that chandelier, I can't get over that chandelier.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so thrilled at how the cover turned out. It's funny because when Cheryl came to me with this project, I felt the pressure. It was like, it's Cheryl. She is iconic. Everything about her is like about the brand, and it's fancy, and it's parents.
I didn't know you felt pressure.
It was a good pressure, but I knew that if nothing else, we had to nail the cover design.
Exactly.
And so when we got this, and she absolutely loved it. I think we may have tweaked the rose a little bit, but she's like, I love it. And now every time I see it, you know, after it was released and you all started posting it everywhere, and it just started popping on social media, I was like, oh yeah. You know, I even reached out to the designer. I'm like, this cover is everything. It's everything. And so I really love it. So Tiffany, I'm gonna start with you. Your chapter was titled Iconic Voyage. And so share a little bit about what your message was in that chapter.
So I honestly did not know what I was going to write until I sat down to write it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have a title, I didn't have a thought, but I knew because of the title of the book, I couldn't go with my typical journey. So it actually unlocked a part of my journey that I never talked about.
Wow.
I literally never realized until I began to write my chapter in this book that I dealt with feeling insignificant all of my life, and all of the moments of being ill and sick and challenged in those areas were building my significance in the space that I would become iconic. So that is why it was an iconic voyage, because those painful points were destined to bring me to my purpose. Those painful points were not for me to, fall short and always talk about it, because most people will be like, oh, her story's gonna be sad. Absolutely not. I do not tell my story from a sad space. If you know me, you know that. That was then, this is now. I am victorious, I've overcome. I'm excited because I am iconic. And I think I shared this with Cheryl, but it was something about that word. And my chapter it was a whole journey. It's kind of like the life flashing before your eyes and you're seeing your whole life. This book put it in perspective. I had to go through all of those things to become an icon and to step into that space and to own it. And when I tell you I own it. Like, I'm not afraid. People say, tone it down. People say, you're a little loud. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. This is me. This is who I am. I'm an icon in my own right. And it attracts people to me that need what I have. Yeah. And I'm just grateful that me being an icon in whatever space I step in, that I'm able to do it and bring somebody along and help them. And that's what that voyage is about.
That's all right. All kinds of goodness.
Yes.
And so, Tiffany, in your chapter, you wrote, an icon's infrastructure begins with a vision built on faith, a vision that leaves room for God to adjust. I love that. And so I just want you to share your thought around that statement.
So, I am, people that work with me in the corporate space say I am an alpha female. I'm a project manager by trade. You know, I do all the things. It's A, B, and C. Don't give me D before you give me A. All the things, right? Don't do that. If you're supposed to be on call at 8, you're late at 7:55. I need you to be on point. I need you, when I call your name, I need you to read your report. That's what I do. But I realize God is God. He makes no mistakes. He is sovereign. And he can do what he wants when he wants to. What I had to understand is he can change the game anytime. What I need to be ready to do is receive it and roll with him. And when I began to live my life like that, it is so much easier. I literally live by faith. It's certain things like even, you know, when Cheryl was like, you know, Mother's Day weekend, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna do, and I was like, It wasn't, what if it was like, okay, yeah, I'm there, let me know. I didn't hesitate because I knew it was a God moment.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna miss a God moment trying to define a Tiffany moment.
Oh, wow.
I'm not doing
I
that.
love it.
That's good.
It's real good.
That's good.
There's no comparison. So when you realize that if you trust God in every moment, you will have those consistent God moments. I mean, just in the airport, in the grocery store, in the Lyft, in the Uber, what have you. I want those God moments. And that's when I literally started living life by faith. And saying, God, you know what? You want me to go up to this person in the grocery store? Okay, cover me. I trust you because we in 2023. And I live in Texas. Everybody's not friendly. And we know what the laws are like. I'm just saying. I just want you to cover me. And I've watched him do amazing things. I've watched him work through me all because it wasn't the A, B, and C. It was walking by faith.
This is something else.
And this is just us.
And this is just us. Like, how many authors in the book? 19, I think. Okay, yeah.
A whole lot.
So your viewers, you guys are just getting a small snippet of what this book is about. The icon within is so amazing. And when I invited you, you told me you had to come on the show, and I was like, well, book a flight, and it's on. And you were like, okay. And then you put it out there, and I was like, wait, there's people coming. It's more than just you flying. So I just absolutely love it. And so, Miss Sharon.
Yes.
Your chapter was titled Living for Self. So share with the viewers what you were writing about in your chapter.
It was definitely a God moment, and I was writing about me and my journey. My husband decided he would run away from home when I was 58, and to be honest, I'm so glad he left, because had he not left, I would not know who I am. I would not be living for myself now. So he did the biggest favor, the biggest blessing. One of the biggest blessings that could have ever been bestowed upon me. But the marriage wasn't working for various and sundry reasons. And I don't have any animosity, and I wish him well in his new life. Because one of the things that I realized was I wasn't living for me. I was living for him. I was living for kids. I was taking care of an elderly mother. I was working that good government job that everybody told me, you go get an education, you get a good government job, and you put in your time, you get your pension, and life will be wonderful.
You get the whole rundown, right?
I hated the job. And I love my children, but I didn't always like them. They were teenagers. So I was so caught up in doing for everybody else, I forgot who I was, what I wanted. And once he left, I had to re-examine who I was, where I was, what was I going to do. So it gave me an opportunity to really go and design the life that I wanted. It let me tap into who I was. And then as I was working through that, and on my journey, God said, write about it. I'm like, huh? And God always speaks to me early in the morning, and I guess because I go to bed so early in the day, and I'm up early in the morning having these God conversations. So I had written a book, and we had done all the stuff that needed to be done, but somehow it got messed up. So when I talked to Cheryl, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And as I went and I was doing, it just became real clear that, you put God first, but then I become the center of my world. And I know people say, well, the world doesn't revolve around you. That's not true. My world revolves around me. And when I change me, the world around me changes. And we are able to change our world. So I started changing some things. And then I had the opportunity to fall in love with me and live a life that is the life that I truly want because I designed this life. So, yeah, it's working. I love it.
Sounds like it. So you also, in your chapter, you shared how you were able to reclaim yourself using the 3R strategy, release, restore, and rebuild. So share a little bit about what that looked like when you were doing that.
The first step was release, and I had to release all those things that were not working for me. I had to release that fairy tale about you meet someone, you fall in love, and you all live happily ever after because he's a Prince Charming and he's going to rescue you. And what I realized, the only person that rescues you is you, and that's okay because that's who needs to rescue you. You don't need someone to come charging into your life to take control. You need to be able to say, you know what? I am me. I am responsible for myself and I can do this. When I start talking about restoring, we need to get back to who we really are. And when you start talking about restoring, the first person when you're working on yourself, forgive yourself. So many of us walk around wounded, broken, but the first thing we have to do is forgive ourselves primarily for the stuff that we've done that's been self-inflicted that we really don't understand and don't know about. It's like, okay, I forgive me like God has forgiven me, and let that mess go. Just get it out of your life, let it go. And then when we start talking about the final one, you have to begin to really build and design the life that you want. If it's something that you really want to do, then go do it. I like to travel, so I travel. I was in Phoenix in April. I'm here today. There are places that I want to go. I want to see. There are things that I want to do. I intend to do that. People laugh all the time. I like to shop. But part of the time, I like to shop in thrift stores. And they're like, you go buy dirty stuff? Yeah. And I have it dry cleaned, I have whatever. But do the things that bring you joy instead of doing the things that you don't want to do. The best thing that women can do is learn how to say no. Say no to those things that you don't like, that don't support you or who you are or where you want to go. But really work on designing the life that you want. Because from where I sit and from what I know, this is a one-time journey. Now, I know folk talk about they've been reincarnated and all that, but none of the people I know who died have come back. So you better do what you can do with what you got in the time that's been allotted to you.
You're so funny. So what impact or what is it that you hope that the readers will gain from reading and hearing about your story?
I hope women will understand that it is important for them to live in truth, for them to have a sense of self, to do the things that bring them joy. And if it's something that's not bringing you joy, or if it doesn't define who you are, look at that for what it is and decide what you need to do. I'm not telling anybody to throw out their husband or get rid of their children. But I'm saying, if you've got some things that aren't working in your life, look at those things. Decide what you really want. And you might have to have some really difficult conversations with yourself, with other people, and then decide what you want and make efforts to make sure that you get those things that you desire.
That's good. I say that a lot. It's good. There's so much going on. Yes, it's good. So rich conversation, wisdom, and it really is. It really is. And so, Miss Danielle, your title was "I Am Not Ashamed to Tell." And in your chapter, you shared your truth of living with bipolar and type 2 diabetes. And I just love the title of your chapter because it's just free and all by itself, right? I am not ashamed to tell, because so many people are. And so why was it important for you to share your experience and your challenges that you faced along that journey?
For one, nobody knew that I did. I did suffer with bipolar. I would tell you in a minute I'm type 2 diabetic, but I would not tell you that I'm bipolar. So you can look at me, I can look at you, and I look just as normal as you do. But you will never know the struggle, the racing thoughts, or anything that's going on in my head. The depression, the manic, you wouldn't even know about it unless I tell you. So I felt that, working on a psych ward and seeing it, I'm like, they don't want nobody to know that they're here. Right. So I'm like, and I don't want them to know I'm just like them. Oh, wow. So I didn't even have a title when I talked to you, but it was like, God was like, I'm not ashamed to tell. So I was like, okay, I like that title. Yeah. And I messaged you, I was like, do you like this, the name of this? It's like, yes. Yes. So, and at that moment I had talked about it before in an article, and I'm thinking of Mom and Me. I was a mom living with bipolar, but I didn't really like going into depth because I wanted to keep my image. Type 2 diabetic, not everybody's a diabetic, but they don't have so much stigma on it. Right. So I was like, Danielle, if you're gonna be in the light with diabetes, why not come out in the light with what you suffer with too with diabetes? Because with diabetes, it triggers your depression and your moods. I mean, I go through mood swings. Like, if you just said the word duh, it all depends on how you say it. It could just take me way back weird. I'm like, okay. So I want people to know if I can come out of the light, you can come out of the darkness. Mm-hmm. So let's do it together. Bounce it off of me. I love the fact that I put in there how I deal with diabetes along with type 2, my 20 ways that I manage it, and the 7 ways that I manage just bipolar by itself. Yeah. You can take what I list and make it your own or use it. But I just want you to be like, if she can come out, I can come out. Don't be afraid to tell your doctor any and everything. I went to a couple doctors until you find the right doctor. Yeah. Don't stop. Keep going until you find the right doctor, the right medication. Just keep going. I know my chapter might be a little different than everybody else's chapter, but I love being transparent. Believe it or not, I am an introvert. So, me sitting here today doing this, I hope I touch one person to be like, okay, she's sitting on TV talking about her bipolar. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. Good. I'm not saying mental illness no more. I'm not saying mental health. I'm giving it what it is. It's bipolar. Right. I'm giving it the name. If I give it the name, that means I'm dealing with it. So I'm not afraid of it no more. So back then I was afraid, but now I'm not afraid. So I am Danielle Baptiste, and I suffer with type 2 diabetes, and I'm bipolar. So if you are suffering with both, or if you're suffering with one, I'm free, but I'm not a doctor. Still go to your doctor. If you have to go, like I said, go through any different types of medication till you get to the right one. Do it. It works. Sometimes I just love being myself. I found a new way to comfort myself when I'm in my moods. I would sit in my car, I back my car into my driveway at home, and I would sit in it for about 30 minutes because it felt like a hug. And I just watched the world, pets and people go by, and I would just sit there. My son thinking I'm still riding around, no, I'm sitting in the driveway. Because I need that moment. I just need me. And it helps. And then I can go in and do what I need to do for him. But do what you need to do to take care of you. Another thing that we as bipolar don't like is certain things do not say to us. Aren't you on medication?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Insensitive.
Yes, very, very. Or you can use that for what for things. No. Just certain things you should not just say. But it's okay. It's okay because I'm getting better. So, but I mean, as I'm sitting here, I'm not ashamed to tell you. And I want you guys to continue loving me the way you do. And the shame is not on me anymore. And I know you haven't asked that question, but the readers. The transparency is real. Just let people know. Don't hide it. Give the help that you need because it helps sometimes. It helps a lot of times. And we need it. We just need it. And like I said, that one comfort that I found that really helps right now is just sitting in your car. And it just feels like a hug. It's that time to yourself. Does a lot. It does a lot. And I be having milk in the car and I'm like, I just need this milk. I just need this minute to myself. And like you said, I have my phone on. I don't talk to nobody. Yeah. I just need me time and it helps. So, I find my pets are even welcoming sometimes. Except for Onyx, who like to meow a lot. So I'm like, okay, Onyx, you have to go. But other than that, talk about it. Just talk about it. Don't be ashamed anymore.
I love your transparency. I really do. And in your chapter, it's like, wow, she went for it. And it's going to really be a blessing and help someone. That reason. I'm so glad that you're talking about it. In your chapter, you said that you believe that you were chosen to be in this position. And so what did you mean by that?
When I was first diagnosed, I didn't believe I had diabetes. I was like, Miss Little Rose, I'm not a diabetic. Because I was like, I'm not that big. I stereotyped what a diabetic was.
Wow.
So when she told me, I said, So I let about a year and a half go. Then I got my first symptom. And the reason I knew what the symptoms was because I did go to classes and I did do everything she told me to do, but I just didn't believe I was diabetic. So when that first symptom came along, I was like, oh, she telling the truth. So I started, I said, Jenny, we gotta walk. So Jenny, my neighbor, helped. We got to walk in the neighborhood. I was 30, 40 pounds. And that helped. My A1C went down to like 4.9. I said, well, I'm not a diabetic anymore. But didn't understand I was actually in remission. So when people say reverse, it's actually remission because you're managing and controlling it. But the first time you do something that's not right, guess who's back?
Yeah.
It's back. So from then on, I felt it was time. And I think Cheryl helped me with the mission statement to educate diabetics, educate and empower diabetics to live a life. So I was like, well, I guess I was the one to do this. But being an introvert was hard. And Cheryl, like you said, Cheryl got on me sometimes. She's like, you gotta get out there, you gotta do it. So, but I still got a little pullback.
It's okay.
So, and then, like I said, I think it's time to also do this. I felt, now that I'm getting a little spotlight, and now I'm an influencer. But Diabetes Moment is an Diabetes Moment, so now I'm an influencer with Miguel Johnson.
She owned that.
Unlock the icon.
Yes. So I unlocked the icon with that, and he's taking us to places. I'm like, okay, he really pulling me out.
Yeah.
So So yes, that's how I felt that I was chosen to be the one to talk to people about both.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
and I'm ready.
Yeah, I see. I can tell. It shows. And so just switching gears a little bit, I just want to talk about what the journey has been like as an author. So your personal journey as an author. Start with you, Cheryl.
Personal journey as an
Like,
author.
what are your joys, challenges you've experienced as a writer?
Well, it's interesting. My first step into being an author was in an anthology, and I loved that concept so much that that's when I stepped in doing it more, and then I eventually wrote my own book. Writing is my highest form of creativity. So I love the process of writing. I've worked in the publishing space. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
Hats off to you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work. I own a publishing company, publishing books for other people. Did not bring me a whole lot of joy.
Requires grace.
And then I was like, yeah, I'll stick to the anthology, I think, because it's still a project that I own. But as an author, writing for me is the thing that I love to do. And I look at it as when I think of an author, I don't just think of someone writing a book. I think of someone writing a book, writing a blog post, writing even your captions for social media.
Yeah.
It's an extension of you as an author, as a writer, and just being able to access that creativity that lies within as it relates to writing. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. Yeah. So my journey was like, in different parts of it. Finally realizing that I love doing the anthology projects, and that I myself as an author, I just love writing.
That's great. What about you, Michelle? Your journey as an author, like what has that been like for you?
Oh,
Fun.
frustrating, torture. And it's self-torture because some days it's like I want to write now, I don't want to write. I want to write, no, I don't want to write. But joyful overall, definitely joyful. Right now I'm working on a solo book, and that's bringing me joy. But just being able to tell stories, and then knowing that. Kind of laughing because people say, you got all these stories. I want to read about them. I'm like, really? But fun. And even when I was a little kid, I loved to read. And I would say, one day when I grow up, I'm going to be an author. I didn't know it was going to take me so long. However, I like writing and I love reading. And I think they both go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I am having the best time of my life doing the writing, and and just being able to be in a wonderful group of women, because when you find people who get you, you've been gotten. And these women who did Unlock the Icon, they get me because we are all on that same journey. But the beautiful thing about it is that we are walking in our truth.
Yeah.
And once you are truthful with yourself, you're able to be truthful with everyone else. So it's a good journey, and I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. Good. Tiffany?
So, I wrote my first book when I was 9.
Nice. Okay.
And so, it's been a really interesting journey and a lot of fun. But I believe the biggest celebratory moment for me is realizing that it's an opportunity to speak my truth and help someone else unlock their truth. Because it's an opportunity to really impart into somebody else. Because a lot of times people don't have what they need. They don't know where to go get it, who to talk to, and they pick up the book and it's like they're reading about themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this book is, right? You know, I'll say the name, and it's like people stop in their tracks. And I love that. I haven't said anything else about what's in it. All I've said is the title, and they're like, I'm sold. Like, where do I get it? And it's amazing. And then people email me or text me and say, you know, I'm on chapter such and such, and this is amazing. And I'm thinking, I know, I've read the book. But my journey overall has just been, it's been ever evolving for me, because as I started out, I always say I started out, you know, that young person who didn't know what I was doing. And as I got older, I realized that it is a gift from God.
Yeah.
It's a way for me to connect with people, and it's also a way for me to bless people.
Right.
And so it's been so rewarding, and it's gotten me indoors I've never thought I'd be able to walk in spaces and places and in conversations with people. I'm like, wow, all because I took time to pin something.
Exactly.
And that's how I'm meeting all of you amazing people. So
yeah, it really does unlock and open up a whole new world. Yeah, that's why I get so excited talking to people about writing, like write your story, write, you know, your business, whatever it is that you're supposed to pen, go ahead and do it, because it really does open up those doors. And Ms. Danielle, what did your writing journey been like?
At first, the first book I wrote was about my son Brandon crying out, suffering anxiety and social showers when my husband had deployed to Afghanistan, and Brandon was 4. He had a hard time, and it was calling me like back and forth. And so I heard a voice. It was like, write a book. But I never was like, okay. I dismissed it.
So that wasn't for me.
Yeah, I think it's
so many people do.
It was talking to somebody else. So I can't give you the time frame between when the voice came back. So when it came back, I was just writing. It was flooded. I was like, what am I writing? I was just writing. So and I got over the ghostwriter. That's one thing. If you're gonna write a book, don't do what I did, because at the beginning I did a lot of mistakes. Got with a ghostwriter, but I limited that. I won't do that again. So that's how Crying Out began. That journey was a learning journey and beginning to where I'm at now. I didn't want to write any more books, but I'm here.
There was certainly more for you to say.
There was more for me to say and do. Till I got to the point now, I want to do my own anthology. I want to get maybe about 10 diabetics in the book that's never wrote a book to now become their own author and write about, give me your story about why you, your story about being a diabetic. Yeah. So, Kimberly, I'll probably be talking to you. When you're ready. So my challenges wasn't that much like you guys. Like I said, I didn't really think I didn't get this far. But it just opened me up to, like you said, a new world, new people, meeting different people. And my journey is just basically, like you said, unlocking this icon, just unlocking this beast. Yeah. So I'm ready.
That's awesome. So Tiffany, real quick, tell them, let's see, what piece of advice would you give to a viewer that's watching today that is contemplating writing their story, but they're just not sure?
I'm gonna keep it real simple. Like Nike says, just do it.
It's what I always say.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Don't make it hard. Just do it.
And Cheryl, what piece of advice or what encouragement would you give to a viewer that may be watching who does not feel so iconic right now, that you could share with them to let them know that they can have this goodness too?
Yeah, well, the whole idea and concept around being iconic and seeing yourself as iconic is really understanding your own unique value that you bring to the world.
Yeah.
It's not fame, it's not celebrity status, it's none of that. It is, you have a unique value that's inside of you that we know as greatness, and that you need to unlock that, to discover that, to share that with the world, because that's what's going to get you your opportunities, that's what's going to get you indoors, that's what's going to get you living the life that you desire. So,
Yeah. And what's next for your iconic brand?
oh wow. Oh wow. It's funny you asked that because I've actually been thinking about that and really praying about that and saying, okay, this book project, the title of the book and all, has unlocked something that I believe is going to, and we talk about it amongst ourselves, that it really is going to be a movement, that it really is going to be a message that women will get behind as we show up and talk about the idea of what being iconic is. So now I am looking at, okay, what is next? You know, do I want to do a volume 2, which I think I do? Do I want to do live events? All under this umbrella and concept of unlocking the icon within. It is such a divine message. It is an empowering message. And it is a message that women around the world need to hear.
I agree. This has been so fantastic, so iconic, if you will. And so I just want to say thank you so much to each one of you for being here. I know you didn't have to travel here to sit at this little table and talk to me. And so I'm just so honored to have you all as my guests today. And so thank you so much for being here, being a blessing to myself, being a blessing to the audience. And I'm sure that they have some great nuggets to take away from this conversation. So thank you all.
Thank you.
And to our viewing audience, thank you so much for joining us for another segment of Write the Book TV. If you're someone who's thinking about writing a book, or you know someone who should, tell them that this is the place to be, right here on Write the Book TV. And if you have a question about writing or publishing, you can head over to our website at www.writethebooktv.com and leave us a comment there. Take care.